Hello everyone, my name is Brittany. I am a metastatic breast cancer thriver, and today we are talking about what my cancer feels like. This is a question that I get asked pretty frequently of like, what does it physically feel like? Or what did it feel like in the body? That way that people can kind of understand their symptoms a little bit better. So to start us off, I do want to say that I'm going to talk about how it felt in the 4 different areas of my body. So I had it in my right breast, my neck, my liver, and my lymph nodes. So I'll talk about how it felt in the 4 different parts of my body, starting off with my main tumor itself, where it all started was in my right breast. So first, honestly, it felt like just like a cyst. I had frequent cysts, and even when I was diagnosed with breast cancer, I had 3 cysts in my breast at the same time as the cancer. So there was a whole lot going on. So just keep that in mind. But it did feel like a hard ball. And my, doctor said that that's not typical per se. Like, oh, it doesn't just feel like a giant hard ball. I'm like, okay, well, that's what mine felt like. Also, mine was very painful. So some people don't feel the pain of it at all. Mine was painful. So I don't know if that was just my circumstance or if that's what other people have felt as well. But mine in particular was painful. Like every time I put on a bra, it hurt. Every time I would touch it, I couldn't even lay on my side. My tumor was pretty big though. Like I obviously have been, the same size up here since adolescence. And I noticed, I'm like, okay, the right side is growing and that is super abnormal. Like that's not normal. Especially when you were like 29, which is the age I was when I was diagnosed. I'm like, I'm 29 and my body is changing, and that's not like the normal change that you would say, because I was going and working out at the gym and like 3 days a week. So I'm like, my one breast should not be changing size and shape in that area at 29 years old. Anyways, so that's what that one felt like. Keep in mind that I have been able to feel like what it actually feels like, because I have like ductal carcinoma. So it is right next to the nipple. So I can literally feel it. It's right on the top of my, like area, if you want to say. It's not like buried deep in there. And yeah. Okay. Anyways, then that's what it started off feeling like at the beginning. But now it's kind of changed shape and form because I have been on treatment for a little over a year now, and it has gotten significantly smaller. So it doesn't feel like this big, like hard ball anymore. It still is like hard, but it doesn't hurt anymore. And also it feels like almost if you had, say, like feta cheese, like clumped together. Okay, that sounds a little weird. I don't want to gross anybody out, but that's kind of like what it feels like in just a teeny tiny area. It's pretty small now. It's a little over 2 point something SUV. I don't really understand the whole like SUV terms. Like I am not a medical person, but it started out at like over 15 SUV. And whatever that means, going from 15 to like 2 point something, I think that's like a big win, okay? But anyways, so now it feels a lot different. It's very like a jagged around the edges. It's kind of like just like more like like a feta cheese that was just kind of like splat there, that was like hard, is like jagged around the edges. It's not like a circle, like a perfect circle or a perfect ball. Like it's very jagged and like weird shape, if you were to say. And yeah. Anyways, so let's go ahead and move on into my liver, because that is where a lot of lesions were. I had so many lesions. Like when you looked at my first PET scan, it was just like splat lesions everywhere, all over my liver. So that one was a little bit interesting because that one's more in the body. That one, I just had no idea. Like I had no idea that it was in there. I had one very strange symptom, I would say, that kind of gave it like a hint of, okay, something's not feeling right. And that is, like I said, I was working out at the gym 2 to 3 days a week, sometimes more, like exercising with yoga and stuff. I was always at the gym and I would never really get side aches before. And considering the fact that I had been working out for quite some time, I just didn't expect to feel side aches. And that was my main symptom for that. I would feel like I had side aches all the time, every single time that I would work out. Even if I would go on just like a small jog, I'd be like jogging for 5-10 minutes, just jogging, light jog, and I would feel this like side ache. Every time I went to the gym, I couldn't really do crunches or anything. After a while, it would just constantly ache and it felt like a side ache. So that was just kind of weird and something that I noticed. Once the cancer was out of my liver, my side aches stopped. Like I didn't have them anymore. So that's just kind of interesting, but it definitely felt like, let's say you ate a meal before working out and you had that side ache when you're like running or something. That's what it felt like. In my neck, right? Because it was in my bone in my neck as well. That one, I have had an injury there from a previous car accident. So I already always had kind of like this discomfort in my neck from that. But I did notice that, I just felt like I constantly had to like crack my neck. I don't know if that makes any sense, but like when I'd go to sleep, I just felt like, I just kept waking up. I felt like I had a kinked neck. It didn't really feel like anything in particularly different per se than what I had experienced before. I just thought that like my injury from my car accident from years ago was just starting to act up again. So that one I was really unexpecting. I just didn't expect it to be there. The last place that it was in, which a lot of people, experience as well, is in the lymph nodes. And this one didn't feel a thing, right? So a lot of people say that they had cancer, they had no symptoms, they had no idea, it was like floating around the body, right? And that is because when they're at like a small cellular level, sometimes you just don't feel them at all, right? And within the lymph nodes, again, I couldn't feel them at all. No idea that they were there, right? That one had no symptom per se at all. So it is interesting to see how everybody kind of has their own interesting symptoms, I guess. But I would say though that if you are at least feeling something's off in your body, just go to the doctor, get it checked out, advocate for yourself if it doesn't change as well. Everybody kind of experiences their symptoms differently. Go for your mammograms because there are a lot of people that experience breast cancer that had no idea that it was even in there until their mammogram. Just saying, go now. Anyways, let me know what your symptoms were down in the comments below, or if you have any other questions for me to answer, and I will see you next time. Make sure to click the buttons below. Bye.